So this is my first few questions basic on multicasting. This is simple scenario of source and receiver. First question would be, let's say we have setup there. Source is not active and there is no active receivers as well. So other than PIM hello message between multicast routers and these neighbors, PIM neighbors, and RP mapping on each device which is participating in multicast routing. Will there be any other packets, anything else on that network would be able to see, or these are just two things, PIM hello and RP mapping on each router? First question. Second question would be replacement of RP. Let's say here we are saying this is the RP. So in real life, replacement of RP is always like we used to do spanning tree root bridge in the center of the switch in the switching domain. So it is similar concept or it's completely different. Third question would be um, RP backup. So we have the backup for RP. We generally keep it or not. What's the recommendation, or what are the main points to consider while keeping the RP backup? Fourth question would be unicast reverse path forwarding URPF. URPF is a software feature or a hardware feature? I think it's a software feature, but I wanted to make sure. Fifth question is RPF check. We said it's on each UDP packet in the multicast. Is this true that it happens on every UDP packet? Anything which is coming from source and delivering, getting to the receivers. So each router will do RPF check, and if its router is doing, does that mean that processing is going to CPU? Each packet in the each for each stream for each receiver. Now another question would be, we know that this receiver become active and then it will get to RP, it will register there. What if my source, my SPT source to RP is not stable? For some reason this part of my routing is not stable. So if receiver is registered here star comma G, but S comma G entry is not with the RP, what will happen? Will there be any communication between RP to the receiver that for some reason I don't have that availability of the source you are asking? Is there any communication, or receiver will just keep on waiting and timeout based on the application he is using to get the multicast stream? So that would be another question. Seventh question or another question would be, let's say now this side is stable, this side is good, but for some reason my this side went bad. All I'm saying is share tree is not stable, but SPT tree is stable. So unicast routing for some reason is not working well on this side now, and RP is always having S, G entry because source is sending data to that group IP. What RP will do? Will he convey any message to the source first hop that there is nothing I can do, there are not or there are receivers but they are not stable? So will that SPT merge from first hop router of source to the first hop router of the receiver? Let's say STP is not getting converged. What is the mechanism within the multicasting in the native multicast to support this? Another question would be, probably eighth question would be, we have shared tree, or we have RP tree here on this side, and we have SPT tree on this side. If RP is somewhere here middle, so is there any communication between RP to SPT? Like, if there is a problem in between, is there any communication in between these two trees before converging to SPT? One more question would be, in spite of all this simple scenario, let's say this is healthy scenario, traffic is flowing from source to receiver, is going good. But what happened is there was a switch in the middle which was down, but it recovered. So what happened is unicast routing path change. Now this middle from source or first hop, is this is the best path to reach, right? So traffic was flowing from one router, 2, 3, 5 and 6. This was the STP. Now change in the unicast routing, um, in that timers, my receivers, when incoming interface and outgoing interface will change, when unicast routing protocol inform multicast, or RPF will inform that there is a change in unicast routing protocol. Now question is, will that my receivers, while unicast routing is getting converged, will receivers see the breakage, and how roughly long that breakage would be there? Can I compare this breakage sometimes when we watch TV and there is a change in in there is a break in blip in our network on the TV channel? Can I correlate such blip with such scenario that unicast routing protocol converge to some other path from, let's say, up 1 2 3 5 to, let's say, 1 2 and then this switch and then 5? Can I converge? Can I correlate those things? Now another question would be, let's say, um, we know multicast routing when they work in healthy scenario, let's say switch, through switch now traffic is flowing, and I have receivers here on this side. So multicast routing will stay on the routers and switches as far as there is a data stream. So what will happen if these receivers are, let's say they are not active, multicast tree will mroute will go, and again again receivers are becoming active. So let's say I have few hundred receivers, but they are not active at the same time. They are coming, they are getting active, but they are getting away. They are again coming, asking for data to different devices here in my domain, and they are getting away. For mroute table, my devices, my these devices has to work to create mroute table and to convert SPT. Can I avoid that situation, or in other words I'm asking, can I hold mroute on my routers? Is there any way I can play with those timers and I can ask them to hold that table, because I know I have this source, or I have, yeah, here 2 or 3 sources, I have here 100 of receivers. I know timely they're gonna active. I don't want my core devices to create or to do this entry, to do this math again and again, to avoid any extra load on that. So can I hold this mtrace table in my on my devices? So that was one of the question, probably 10 to 11 questions I have. um, That's all about it.